I never meant to overhear it. I wasn't supposed to catch any of it. Not the blurred laughter, not the messy truth spilling through her voice, and definitely not the confession that would wreck everything I believed was stable in my life. But I did. And once a truth like that reaches your ears, it never leaves. The night everything came apart started with a phone call at 1:27 a.m. I had dozed off on the couch, the television humming quietly in the background while I waited for my wife, Laya, to come back from her girls' outing. I had told her to enjoy herself, even joked that she deserved a break from my unexciting company. But when my screen lit up with her name, a tightness formed instantly in my stomach. "Hey, babe," she slurred. Behind her voice came music, chatter, and the sound of a man laughing far too close. "Laya, are you all right?" I asked. She giggled, just a little tipsy. Maybe had one drink too many. "Should I pick you up?" No, I'm good. Just being, stupid," she mumbled, suddenly irritated. Something bumped against something. Then another voice asked her if she needed help. A male voice. Then she whispered, thick with emotion. I told him. I said something awful. My chest tightened. Told who what? No response. Only the shuffle of the phone being moved, footsteps, and her unsteady breathing. I told Aaron. Her voice cracked, fragile and raw. I told him. I wasn't sure I loved him anymore. Everything around me fell silent, like someone had cut the sound from the world. "What?" I whispered, but the line had already gone dead. 2 hours later, she staggered inside at 3:15 a.m., makeup smudged, hair messy, carrying the scent of perfume, sweat, and alcohol. "Hi," she murmured, dropping her purse heavily onto the floor. I watched her from the couch, my fist so tight that my knuckles had gone pale. "Did you mean it?" I asked quietly. "What you said on the phone?" Her brows pinched together, confusion or shock flashing across her face. "What did I?" "You told someone you weren't sure you loved me anymore." Her lips parted, her eyes widened, and she froze, the stillness of someone whose secret had slipped out into the world. "Aaron, you know I was drunk," she whispered. "I didn't think clearly." "I understand that," I said softly, "but alcohol doesn't invent feelings. It just lets the hidden ones escape." Her eyes filled with panic. No, that's not fair. You don't know what happened tonight." "Then tell me." Silence. She sank onto the couch, buried her face in her hands, and it took a moment before she spoke again. Her voice trembled. "I didn't mean to say it, but I did, and now I don't know how to pull the words back." The confession begins. She drew in a shaky breath. "It wasn't really just a girls' night," she murmured. A cold weight settled deep in my chest. "Then what was it?" She shut her eyes tightly. "There's someone from work. Someone I let get too close. His name is Ron." The name felt like a stone hurled straight through me. Too close? In what way? I asked, though part of me already knew the answer. "We never slept together," she rushed to say. "But we talked a lot. Shared things. Things I should have only shared with you." My throat burned. So, emotional cheating. She nodded, broken. "It started a few months back. I didn't realize where it was heading. He made me feel noticed, like I mattered. I know it sounds terrible. I thought it was harmless at the beginning." She wiped a tear from her cheek. "And tonight," she continued, "he was at the bar. I didn't expect him there. I didn't go to meet him. But when we saw each other, we talked for too long, too personally." My jaw clenched. "And that's when you told him you didn't know if you loved me." She winced. "I don't even know why I said it," she whispered. "I was upset, confused, and he asked why I never left you if things felt stuck." The word struck hard. Stuck? Is that really how you see our marriage? Her eyes, rimmed with red, looked torn between guilt and the need to be honest. I think, somewhere along the way, we stopped communicating. We stopped feeling like a team. And I let somebody else take that space. I'm ashamed of it. I swallowed. "Did you say anything else to him?" She hesitated. I told him I felt trapped. Something inside me splintered. The morning after, neither of us slept. She cried. I stared at the ceiling, numb. By 8 a.m., sunlight filtered through the blinds, cutting the room into strips of light and shadow. Laya sat across from me, small and fragile, her hands trembling. Aaron, she whispered, I don't want to lose you. I didn't answer. I messed everything up. I know I did. But I love you. I swear I do. I just fell apart, she whispered. I dragged my hands down my face, exhausted and hollow. I don't understand how you can claim you love me, yet tell another man you're unsure of that. I was drunk and mad and hurting, she said, voice trembling. I didn't know what I was feeling. She reached toward me, but when I didn't take her hand, she pulled it back slowly. Please, let me explain. You already have. Her composure crumbled again. Soft, shaking sobs rippled through her body. But her crying couldn't erase the words that had already wounded everything between us. The days that followed, for several days, we drifted around each other like strangers haunting the same space. I stayed out late at work. She barely spoke. Meals sat untouched. Our home felt more like an exhibit, filled with memories preserved like artifacts, but none we could actually touch. One evening, Laya finally broke the silence. Aaron, do you want to know why I felt so lost? Part of me didn't want to open that door, but I nodded. You stopped letting me in, she said softly. You stopped sharing what scared you, what you hoped for, what you felt. You became this calm, quiet surface I couldn't get through anymore. I thought I was being steady. I muttered. You were shutting me out. I clenched my jaw and stared away. And instead of fighting for our connection, she admitted, I let someone else fill that space. Someone who listened because he wanted something from me. I see that now. Her voice cracked. You didn't fail me. I failed both of us. But apologies don't dissolve betrayal. They don't lift the weight of it. The message that shattered what was left. A week later, while she was showering, her phone buzzed on the nightstand. I didn't mean to check it, but when I saw Ron's name light up the screen, something inside me froze. A preview of his text slid across the top. Thinking about last week, about what you said, you deserve better than him. The bottom of my stomach dropped. She hadn't just opened up to him. He still believed she might choose him. Laya stepped out of the bathroom wrapped in a towel. Her eyes widened when she saw the phone in my hand. Aaron, wait! I read the message aloud. Color drained from her face. I didn't reply, she said urgently. I didn't ask him to send anything. I swear. But he thinks you want something beyond this, I said, my voice unsteady. He thinks there's hope. No, she whispered. Taze didn't fool this time. She just looked devastated. He doesn't, because I told him the truth. I told him I love you. I told him I'm choosing us. I cut it off. But he doesn't believe you, I murmured. And maybe that's because he didn't fully believe it either. The silence that followed wasn't explosive. It wasn't loud. It was empty, the sound of hope slipping away. The conversation that shifts everything. That night, we sat across from each other at the dining table, the same place where we'd shared celebrations, arguments, and every kind of love in between. Do you actually want to stay? I asked, barely above a whisper. Stay because you want to, not because you're guilty, not because you're scared. Yes, she said instantly. More than anything. I want to believe you, I said, but I don't know how. She reached across the table, slowly, like she was approaching something fragile and wounded. Then let me prove it. And what if I can't give you that chance? I asked, what if trusting you again just can't happen? Her voice trembled. Then at least I'll know I didn't give up, that I didn't run to someone else, that I fought for what we had. She flinched at her own words, but didn't deny them. The ending that hurts, but feels honest. We didn't file for divorce, but we didn't magically restore our life either. We started therapy. We set rules. She blocked Ron, erased their conversations, changed her number, opened up more, stopped making excuses. But some nights, when she thinks I'm asleep, I hear her crying quietly, guilt chewing at her. And some nights, When I'm awake staring at the ceiling, I wonder if love can ever return to its original shape after it's been cracked. Maybe it can. Maybe it never does. Still, we're trying to rebuild something fractured, trying to become the people we once promised each other we'd be, trying to prove that one terrible night, one drunk decision, and one ruthless truth doesn't have to destroy a marriage. But we both know something real. Some wounds close, some scars stay forever, and our story, messy, painful, unfinished, is still being written.